So the Tube2K demo is available to play. It has been released, and I was so happy to hit that milestone. But instantly, as soon as it released, I started getting some really good feedback on it. Now, some of that feedback was really difficult to take on board instantly. It's like, I think whenever it comes to feedback on a project you've put your heart and soul into, you've spent so much time trying to get it perfect, trying to create the game experience that you have in your head. When you initially get that feedback, it's so hard, man. Like, you start to panic. Is this game crap? You start to get a little bit defensive. Like, well, no, that's fine. That's not an issue. But in my time building video games and creating YouTube videos, I have learned to be able to have that moment where that feedback hits hard, take a deep breath, and then reassess it and see the benefit that you can get from that feedback and how it can help create a better product, create a better game. And I have to say, some of the comments I got for Tube2K, for me, have made such a huge improvement to the demo. And those initial 3 minutes of playing the game, and they are things that I think once it was highlighted, I think, how didn't I spot that? How didn't I see that? But it's so difficult, man. It's so hard when you're in the weeds to really see all these little points and perspectives from like more and more of a bird's eye view, and to see the game as that bigger whole, and to experience the first 5 minutes. I think it's hard as a developer to experience the first 5 minutes of your own game because you know what's coming. And when you're testing it with an intention of what's coming and when it's coming. You know the expectations. You can only really get that feedback of what the initial experience is like from someone who hasn't been part of the process, or from somebody who sees it for the first time. And I got some really great comments just about things happening sooner, understanding what the key aspects of the gameplay were quicker, not having to wait for some of the more interesting events to happen. It's an incremental idle clicker, and I think it can be easy to get distracted or confused with some of the more pure incremental games like Antimatter, games like Cookie Clicker. Especially Cookie Clicker, it can feel like the simple action of just the clicking is the thing that pulls the gamers in. But when you look at those games in more detail, there are little things that change, that pop up. It's the mechanics change quite rapidly. Even though you're just clicking, things are happening and popping up, and new things are getting unlocked. And the initial 3 minutes of Tube2K didn't do that enough. Numbers started going up, but the gameplay didn't change quick enough. So I've been able to tweak and bring things a little bit sooner. In like the first minute something happens, and the first 3 minutes another thing happens. But on top of that as well, although it feels quite intuitive to me in how the game works, I think where you need to click makes sense, but why you're clicking it, maybe not so much. So little things as well, like a tutorial. I was really keen on trying to avoid a tutorial as much as possible, like using tooltips to do that. But tooltips can only tell you so much. And I think the benefit with having like a Windows XP style user interface is you can use some of the mechanisms of what XP used to do to notify you using an operating system. You can use those mechanisms to be a bit of a tutorial, like little pop-ups at the bottom of the start bar. And all that feedback is just really enabling me to refine and make those first 3 to 5 minutes so much more rapid and get the user straight into the game as quick as possible. Now, the demo's done pretty well. It's brought, I mean, we're not talking huge numbers here. The demo itself is going to be the main marketing vehicle for Tube2K over the next couple of months. But, and to put it into context, I hadn't done any marketing really for the Steam store page because I didn't want to do any of it until the demo was ready. And I want to use that as the tool. I want the people's first experience to be able to play the game, because I think that's the best way to convert into a wish list. So the demo was released relatively cold, and the page itself has just been running for about a month, relatively cold. And I've been able to get, nothing crazy, but able to get about 70 wish lists over the course of a month. And when the demo released, that number ramped up, got about 30 wish lists in a day, and that's kind of tailed off a little bit. So I'm really pleased with how the release of the demo has gone in terms of feedback, and in terms of kind of like just the cold wish lists that have come in. What I can do now is I can use that demo, reach out to YouTubers, send it out to publications, and start to use that demo to build some momentum. So then as I get closer to Next Fest, which is a couple of months away, but as I get closer to Next Fest, I can hopefully start to build those wish lists into the thousands, and then Next Fest push it on further. But that initial milestone of getting the demo out, although there have been some bumps in the road along the way, ones I didn't expect and ones I did expect, the demo is now available, and I would love for you to take a look at it and let me know what your thoughts are. If you do want to find out a little bit more about what some of those bumps in the road were and things to avoid if you're looking to release your demo in the future, then make sure to check out this video right here.